drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that, Sarah? What's wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't reflect our society, and I feel that your average white person, average white family is like, I agree with you, Stuart, not represented anymore.
Do you notice the ethnicity of people when you watch adverts?
Yes, I do. Not always.
There seems to be an overstated amount of outrage over people making perfectly obvious observations.
Proximity to power equals acceptance because it does.
My favorite thing happening right now is watching MAGA literally implode.
It's happening faster than I anticipated, right?
He's not even in office yet, right? Yesterday, I made a video talking about this implosion. I referenced the leopards eating the faces.
The director of the FBI, Kash Patel, posted a simple Diwali greeting on.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Regrexit. Brexit England, Northern Ireland, Eastern Europe, and our good friends in the US of A. Welcome. As you can see, my backdrop is completely different, and that is it because I am in Ghana in Africa. My first time on the African continent since my family, my ancestors was ripped away in the most horrendous manner. But we're not here to speak about that. You can catch that in the video that I make about my time in Ghana. So look, I'm going to speak about the level of gaslighting, right, that is happening to the black community, and it's not just, it's not just in Britain. It's worldwide. This level of gaslighting. So we're going to start with Sarah Pochin. Sarah Pochin, as you know, I believe she is the newest member of Parliament, and. This woman, obviously, she's been giving speeches all the time, but none of us have really known too much about her because, she's from Reform, so none of us have really known too much about her. But she believes, she feels, in her mind, her heart tells her that she hates, she gets mad, she's furious, she cannot stand to see black and Asian people in adverts. So that's basically on the TV. And I just look at that woman and think to myself, how the hell have you got to that age, right, that you are so narrow-minded, petty, bigoted, just a horse-faced tart? How have you got to that in your life you're sitting in your house, you're watching the TV, too many black and Asian people here. Don't you ever wonder what the fuck is going on in your mind? What is happening to you, woman? What is happening to you? Seriously, that you believe, right, that black and Asian people are not representative of being English or British. That's what you believe. Well, see, I'm English because I was born in England, so I have to call myself English. I know a lot of people will be like, oh no, well you can't call yourself English. No, I just have to remind them that English is not a race, okay? You're Caucasians in the same way, right, that I can be Chinese, okay? I was born in China, but I can't be Asian, okay? That's what the difference is. English, it's not a race, okay? That would be like saying that the Germans are a race. They're Caucasians. That's what their race is. Their race is Caucasians, right? They happen to be born in certain places. That's their heritage. That's it. But so we've been having that argument in this country for all these years as well. And then we've got the fact that, in fact, I said, Sarah Pochin, this is a woman who sits in her house, a woman who's brought up children, looks like she's probably got grandchildren as well. What do you think she could possibly teach, grandchildren? I mean, she's probably taught her children the same thing as what she is prepared to spout on the TV or on the radio or wherever she's apologized now, but to me, what's an apology mean? It just means that person saying, well, I got caught, so I'm sorry. But that doesn't change the fact of how she feels. It doesn't change the fact of how she feels at all. whenever she sees black and Asian people, you know, what we're going to do? Force her into saying, well, no, force her into to liking the fact that black and Asian people are on the TV. We're going to force her into that? No, we can't force these people into that. This is what I tell you, right, all the time, that we from the left, we just need to break away from these people. We need to get away from them, because I can tell you, right, everything about their life, every single thing, there's nothing in their life, right, that is not aimed at hurting the people from the left or the liberals. Their whole life is built about that. They literally have got nothing else to live for. If it wasn't for the fact that we was here, you know, and I'm talking about us liberals, whether we're black, white, sorry, us lefties and you liberals, whether we're black, white, you know, brown, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was going to say yellow, you know, but I don't like calling Chinese people yellow. So I'm just going to involve them with Asians. Whether you're Asian, it doesn't matter. These people are trying to gaslight us, and their whole existence, they've got nothing else to live for. Trust me, right? You know, I've done my research, and I've looked into this. These people have got nothing else to live for. The only thing they live for is to try and annoy us. That's it. Right? You know, if we say, you know, give kids free meals, no, don't give kids nothing. That is what they're about. So for us, right, as decent people, right, who want, you know, who would like, you know, people to have a decent life, you know, to get a decent wage, you know, have healthcare, you know, and I say have healthcare on like the National Health Service. So, you know, have healthcare, right? Have the children educated to the highest standards that they possibly can be educated to. You know, for us who wants all of these type of things, right? For us and for our children, right? We need to get away from these people, right? Who their only aim in life is to hurt us. That's all. They've got nothing else. They've got nothing else to offer us. The right wing have nothing to offer us. Everything they do is to go against whatever we feel. So that's why we need to just break a clean break away from these people and just get away from them. I mean, I personally have cut right-wing people out of my life a long time ago. Right? If you're from the right wing, then we're not going to hang out. We're not going to be talk on the phone or anything like that. You know? Because I just don't like what you stand for. So, you know, that's as simple as it is. I just don't like what you stand for. And, you know, the only time I want to hear what you guys stand for is when I want to do some research on it. But I don't want to hear from those people. I'm not interested in anything. Not interested in anything they've got to say. I mean, what? I'm supposed to be interested in something that Sarah Pochin has got to say. I'm never interested in what she's got to say. Because everything she has to say, right, is completely racist. And then you move over to Nigel Farage, who believes that, you know, this is where the gaslighting comes in. Okay? Because what you've got to understand as black and Asian people, and the Jews, I'm going to involve in this, what you've got to understand is this. All right? If we get involved in their discussions over this, like I'm doing right now, but I'm talking about, you know, talking about people going into studios, right, and debating this with them. This is not a debating point. This right here is not for black and Asian people at all. This is not our business. This is their business. Okay? If they want to claim, right, that what Sarah Pochin said, that she gets mad when she sees black and Asian people on the TV, well, that's down to them to debate that amongst themselves. As black people and Asians and Jews, we can't get involved in that situation. Because if we get involved in that situation, right, we're legitimizing their point. Right? And they have no legitimate point. So we can't get involved in their situation. And that's what we've got to remember in this whole thing. You know, where Nigel Farage will say, no, it's not racist. These words was just ugly. Well, the words was ugly and racist. But when these people are trying to tell us, no, that's not what's happening, then we have to take a step back. And when I say a step back, I mean as long as your left leg would go back and then bring the right one back with it. Right? That's how far you need to take a step back, and then take another 4 steps after that. Because this is not our discussion. Right? This is nothing for us, right, to involve ourselves in. Right? There should be no, influencers from the left, no politicians from the left. No one, right, especially from the black and brown community, should be prepared to go and discuss this on the TV or on the radio, because it's not a discussion for us. It's for them. If they want to gaslight themselves, fine. You go ahead and gaslight yourself. You see, this morning I listened to the radio. I was listening to LBC on the app. Right. So the presenter said that as the presenter saying this, I'm hitting the radio to turn it off. He said, "Oh, well, Nigel Farage is not racist," right? And then went on to say, "Well, Jeremy Corbyn." And so I thought, oh, just hear what this guy's got to say. He said, well, they was, the Labour Party and the BNP are the only 2 parties that's been investigated by a certain body. Say, well, the problem with that is they can use it. They can keep on slinging that in our face. And we from the left and the liberals, we all know, right, that's some of the, it's some of the worst smears that they could possibly do. Some of the worst smears. But, they've got away with it because they had that Israel money to make sure that, the Labour Party was investigated, right, for anti-Semitism. And look, they get rid of Jeremy Corbyn, and all of a sudden, there's no anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. Was the anti-Semitism there in the first place? Of course not. It's anti-Israel. Okay, all of it, anti-Israel. Right? None of us from the left have got anything against Jewish people. We're anti-Israel. We're anti-Israel because Israel have been committing genocide. Israel have been committing apartheid for nigh on 8 decades, and they've been allowed to get away with it with the support of the British and the Americans. So so when he said that, after I listened to that, I just turned the radio off, because I was just like, I'm not going to listen to these people trying to tell me that Nigel Farage is not racist, and then Nigel Farage himself try and say as well, those words are not racist, they're just ugly. But all of you people, right, that are behind Nigel Farage, right, me as a person, right, 1 vote for that man, right, and I will never ever forgive that. I'll never forgive that, because the thing is, you've got other parties you can vote. You could vote for the Green Party, but no, they're too what? What are they too woke for you? Right, so, but I guarantee you this, right, I bet you prefer your teachers to be woke while they're looking after your little children, right, rather than having some right wing person look after them, right? Because if there was a fire in the school, I expect all the right wing teachers to be outside waiting for the children to come out, and all the left wing and the liberal teachers will be in there, right, carrying children, one under each arm and one on their back. That's how the liberals and the lefties would work. But I would expect them right wing to just say, I just had to, look after my own life. It's very dangerous in there. That's what I would expect. That's what I expect from them. And then I think we should, what we should do? I think we should move over to the USA and to Kash Patel. Kash Patel, the man who believes that he's one of them. He's in with them. I mean, after all, he is the chief, he's the head of the FBI. The job where he said, if I get this job, I'm going to close down the Hoover building, turn it into a museum. Last I looked, I'm sure the Hoover building was still right where it is. And it's not, and it's not a library, nor is it a museum. And, but it was the whole Diwali, the whole Diwali thing. You know, the Festival of Light. I believe that's what it is, the Festival of Light. Now, Kash Patel decided, right, that you know what, I'm going to put up a post to say on Twitter to say, you know, to wish everyone happy Diwali. You know, I was thinking I should really make up a little song, because after all, I am an MC, so you know this is the type of things we do. So I thought I should make up a little song maybe about Kash Patel. You know, just kind of think, how would it go? Let me see. Because I've never heard it before, so just make it off the hoof. Okay. Kash never thought the leopard his face. No. Kash never thought. What? What did you say? That's a. Is it? Oh, you know, just get back anyway. Just get back to the video.
My favorite thing happening right now is watching MAGA literally implode.
Happening faster than I anticipated, right?
He's not even in office yet, right? Yesterday, I made a video talking about this implosion. I referenced the leopards eating the faces.
I never thought the leopards would eat my face.
They were like,
whatever it was, he put it up, right? And he very soon, shortly discovered it was a real mistake for him to put something like that up. I'll show you some of the, have a look at some of these.
So the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, posted a simple Diwali greeting on X, a festival celebrating light over darkness. And what happens? His own followers, white Christian nationalists, swarm his post calling him a devil worshiper and saying that he's promoting foreign religions. Now pause. This man is in one of the most powerful positions in the country. He is running the federal agency that's literally supposed to protect everyone. And yet the minute he shows pride in his culture, his people remind him that he's still other. This is the irony of non-white people who cozy up to white Christian nationalism, thinking that proximity to whiteness and power equals equality or acceptance. But no matter how high you climb or how much you try to prove your loyalty, the club will always remind you that you are a guest, not a member. Oh, they will cheer you on as long as you play the part. Wave the American flag, say the prayer, worship the empire, promote their one true religion. But the second you say that you're proud of your own culture, show your own light, they call it darkness. Darkness. This is what we mean when we say that the tokens always get spent. You can serve the system, defend it, help build it, but when that system is built on whiteness as divinity and dominance as faith, it will never be anything more than a convenient prop. Until you get a reality check like Kash got and start shining on your own. So Kash Patel posting a celebration post about Diwali is not the issue. The issue is the reaction that exposes how fragile their so-called faith really is. Because if your Christian nation can't handle a festival of light, maybe the darkness isn't coming from the dial lamps. Maybe it's coming from the people clutching the cross like it's a damn weapon. Let's be real, they never stop being racist, no matter who they put in power or use to further their agenda.
A lot of you are really mad about this very offensive post that was on my account that said, Happy Diwali. Ugh. Well, I just want to say, I was hacked. I would never promote diversity, inclusion, or joy on my accounts. Here's something I would post. This sick pic of Jesus dunking on LeBron, because Jesus had hops. And this actual photo of Jesus riding a T-Rex, which is my favorite story from the Bible, which I've definitely read. So guys, please stop saying really mean things in the comments. I'm one of you. And never forget to forget about the Epstein files.
You know what's wild? Kash Patel is out here helping the same Trump administration that's feeding the very racism now aimed at his ass. A far-right pastor told Patel to go home and worship sand demons. And honestly, that's the tragic irony of it all. He thought aligning himself with Trump's movement would earn him respect. Instead, they reminded his ass exactly what they think of him. See, this is what happens when people of color start believing that proximity to power equals acceptance, because it doesn't. You can work for them. You can defend them. You can even risk your motherfucking reputation for them. But the moment you stop serving their purpose, they'll show you exactly where you really stand. Kash Patel isn't being celebrated, he's being used, because he's the token face to put on their racism to make it look diverse. And the minute he's no longer useful, they'll toss him out the same way they treat everyone else who isn't part of their goddamn club. It's sad, but it's also a reminder you cannot outperform, you cannot out-loyalty your way out of bigotry. Because no matter what title you hold, they'll always see your ass as others.
Who said that? You want to see my face? Wait, go on, brother. You want to see my face? Don't be crazy. We talking about this. Don't be afraid.
Made a happy Diwali post, you know, the Republican FBI director, because he is a Hindu man. And I'm glad that we have this thing called diversity in the FBI, even though I think Kash Patel is not the answer. But what happened when he posted this is, my goodness, the leopards started coming out of the woodwork. I mean, look at this. Just wow. Look, and here's some more too. Look at what they're posting about Indians and about Hindus. Gosh, why would he want to be around and supporting the people who do this? And keep in mind, these are not left.
Cash Money Patel. Could have told you this would have happened. I could have told you posting about Diwali, an Indian Hindu holiday, when you are in bed with white Christian nationalists? What did you think the response was going to be? Oh, did you think they'd bring up the Valhalla reference that you made, not realizing, I guess, that it was a white nationalist dog whistle? Did you consider that they would use this as an opportunity to tell you to either assimilate to Christianity, the true religion of this nation, or go back home to India? Ignoring the fact, of course, that one of the founding principles of this country was freedom of religion. Probably not, because in your little bootlicking, grifting mind, you see yourself as one of them, even though they will never see you as one of them. Kash Patel, Vivek Ramaswamy, you guys are going to learn the hard way. And you know what? I don't care.
Some horrendous stuff. And you have to wonder, think, well, hold on, Kash Patel, all the gaslighting, the self-loathing, the self-hatred that you have been doing, right, only for these people to tell you exactly what they think of you. Right? You have been a champion for them. You have been right at the front of the battle, and you've been in every battle, right? And you've never fallen. You've picked up all the fallen soldiers, and you've taken them to safety. You have done that for them. Right? You have worked your ass off, right, for these people to like you, for them to even respect you, to respect your religion. You have worked your ass off for them. And what happens? Let me tell you what happens. This is what happens. All of the people, the lefties and the black people and the Asians, like the Jews, right, all of those people, right, that you have been going against. You have been loathing your own skin color against. Right, the LGBTQ and the rainbow flag people. All of these people, right, are the people who would have said to you, "Happy Diwali, my brother." That's it. Send you some hearts, whether they're red, blue, or red velvet. They'll be sending you hearts. They'll be saying to you, "Happy Diwali, happy for your festival of light." But you want to be with the people who say, "What are you doing? Right? Why are you preaching all this stuff? Right? That is no true religion. Right? The only religion is Christianity. Why don't you go back to where you come from? This is a Christian country."
And in 1790, President George Washington told a Jewish congregation in Rhode Island that the new government would give to bigotry no sanction, to persecution no assistance. The very first part of the First Amendment protects freedom of religion.
And those are the people who you endear yourself to. Those are the people who cannot stand you. They hate you with passion. But you think, right, that those people, that you could say, Happy Diwali, or whatever it was you sent out to everyone, Happy Diwali to you. What was you expecting? Seriously, what was you expecting? Because let me tell you this, right? I was expecting exactly what happened. I didn't know you were going to send the message out, of course. But had I known you were going to send the message out, I would have, you know what I'd have done? I'd have said to you, perhaps bad idea. Not with the people that's on your feed. Because all those people are, you know, they're his friends on, you know, all these people are, you know, friends and whatever on Twitter or Facebook, and they all let him know. I don't suppose it was all of them, but so many of them let him know that he is not welcome. He's persona non grata. We don't want you with us. Can we make it any plainer for you? Do you know what I should do? I should hit up Nick Fuentes, my favourite white supremacist, as you all know. I should hit him up and say, listen, do me a favour, do the whole Jason Whittaker thing on Kash Patel for us, please, because, you know, he's not getting the message. I don't even know what to, you know, because for the last few days I haven't really heard anything from him, do you know what I mean? But then again, you know, I've been too busy because I'm in Ghana, so, and I haven't been really watching the news or anything like that from Britain, because, you know, I don't want to depress myself. I don't want to depress myself when I'm in Ghana. So, you know, and I listened to the radio this morning for a few minutes until the guy really just pissed me off. And, you know, their topic was, is Britain a racist place? No, are you proud to be British? We waiting for me to answer. Oh, but in that case, no, because Britain is a fucking racist shithole. Okay, these people, these right-wing fucking nutballs, right, these screw-headed idiots, right, make it a fucked up place, right, for black and Asian people to live. That is what they're doing. That is exactly what they're doing. You are making this a fucked up place for us as black and Asian people to live in. Right? We are people who are born in this country. Just like you, right? We wasn't asked to be born here. Right? I didn't ask my parents to be born in Great Britain. Right? You know, hundreds of thousands of black and Asian people did not ask to be born in Great Britain. Okay, we didn't ask. In the same way, you did not ask to be born in Great Britain. Okay, so with all of this gaslighting, right, and all of this, you know, this far right, you know, how the far right is pulling off and all these things, like, you know, the far right is on top at the moment, right? You are giving us fucking miserable existences in Great Britain, right? And then you expect us to be fucking proud of this shithole? Are you fucking crazy? Proud what? To be around people like that? No, they're a bunch of fucking cunts, right? And you know, those people, right, they make us sick, right? Because you know what? By now, in 2025, they should all know better. All of them should know better. There should be no one who's prepared to go on a fucking TV, right, and say, oh, the radio, and say, oh, you know, it makes me mad to see black and Asian people. You're fucking crazy. Right? And you know what the whole point is now? This bitch, right, is going to get more fucking support from these fucking far right fucking nutballs. They're getting more support from these people. Right? These people, what they're fucked up in their heads. Right? Their heads are fucking exploded with fucking bullshit. Right? As if to say, you know, they're I don't know what it is. What goes through their tiny little minds? What goes through their tiny little minds? Right? And you know, where I am now, let me tell you, right, is a much better and nicer place to live. Right? Probably than anywhere in the West. I don't know why, but Africans leave this place to come over to the fucking shitholes of the West. Right? You know, I was unfortunate to be born in a fucking... well, actually, I was born in Britain, right, where it was, you know, throughout my lifetime, it started moving away from racism, right? And then, you know, probably 20 years ago or so, right, oh no, racism just reared its head. You know, the real ugly racism just reared its head. And from since then, it's got worse and worse and worse. And the more extreme these people are, right, is the more votes they'll get. Right? You see, Sarah Pochin, she hasn't done this, right, because she's been caught out. She hasn't been caught out. She knows how popular this will make her. She knows, you know, this is like, what she's done this is future leadership material, right, for that what she's done now, right? And the fact that she's going to be made to shut the fuck up, right, makes it even better for her. Right? Because now, right, we're squashing her freedom of speech, because what she said is actually freedom of speech. Nigel Farage is right. It's ugly. That's the part he's right about. It's ugly. It's racist, but it's still freedom of speech. She has the right to say that. She has the right to say that, and I have the right to say that she's a cunt. I'm sorry for using that word twice in this video, but you know, I can't see no other way, right, of expressing who these people really are, right, and what they're doing to the minorities, right, the English and the British minorities born in this country, right. Some of us will be generations deep now, because you know there'll be children and there will be grandchildren, generations deep. Okay, so what the fuck do these people think they're actually doing? Right? What the fuck do they think they're doing, right, when they're marching through London in the hundreds of thousands of far right motherfucking Nazis, right, walking through our streets, right? But you know, what kind of world do they think they're trying to create? Because all the world they're creating, right? And you know, they can say to us, well, you know, it's not about you guys, because you were born here. Fuck you, because you know how it affects us. Right? The minute you start labeling black and brown people for anything, it affects every one of us, and you know that. So the only way to do it is to not do it. That's the only thing to do, is to not do it. But you know, as I said, right, us who are from the left, and the liberals, we just need to get away from these people, because these people are no good for us. They have nothing to offer us. All they have to offer us is evil. Everything they've got to offer us is counterproductive. We are not like them, and they are not like us. Listen, I'm going to tune out of here all the way from Ghana. You know, yeah. Actually, I'm doing a video. I'm trying to do a video that showing my time out here. So I'll leave any discussion about this island to that. But my friends, I'm going to bow out of here. My name is the MC John Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all again soon.